Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you are in the world. I hope you had a lovely Easter yesterday. If you're watching the content on my Facebook page, please like my page. If you're watching it on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And let's see what the cards have in store for us today. Okay, so for the third day in a row, we've got all three of our cards that are laid out are Major Arcana cards. So again, these are big things that are happening in our lives. They are changes, or they are the forces of, you can call it karma, you can call it the divine will, you can call it whatever you want to call it. But that higher forces are acting out in our lives, and these are beyond your control, beyond our control. So a lot of the advice that it gives is how to deal with those things, how to move forward with those things, or how to assimilate those things that are happening into our lives. So the first card is the Lovers card. And the Lovers is a very important card magically, because it shows us and it talks to us about how we should be focusing our mind and training our mind to work. Because the male and the female represent the two parts of the mind, the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. And so the conscious mind focuses on the subconscious mind, making sure that you put in the proper things into it. The subconscious mind focuses on the divine, in this case represented by the Archangel Michael, and receives that divine inspiration that is then channeled back to the conscious mind. So this is the way that the mind should work. Now, what this card is telling us in the layout is, one, we need to have the proper focus for our lives, proper relationship between the conscious and the subconscious mind. When we have that, then we start to function in the proper way. And the reason that it's important to have this is because we're going to have some changes coming. So the Death card, which does not mean death in the literal sense, but it means a sudden or drastic change, an involuntary change as opposed to one that we choose for ourselves. And it just rides up on us, and it happens. And it can be difficult sometimes, and it can be frustrating, and it can be hard to work through, but there's the dawn rising as well, which is the dawn of a new day. So by having that proper focus with our mind, we're able to experience this drastic change that's going to happen in our lives. That's moving forward, and it's going to allow us to have the proper mental attitude for when this change occurs, so that we can move through it and we can move toward that new day or that new light. Now, that new light consists of the Empress. And the Empress is all about joy and happiness and fertility, especially fertility. In the tarot, the Empress is understood to be pregnant. So and like I said before, the female and the male pictures here, the female represents the subconscious mind, and she does here as well. So she's pregnant with the thoughts that have been put into her by the subconscious, or by the conscious mind, which is the male. So this is telling us that we're going to reap the benefits of what we sow, which is why it's so important to have the positive attitude and the correct focus as we move through these difficult times. Because we're going to reap the benefits of what we sow, and what we plant in our conscious mind or in our subconscious mind is going to manifest for us in our normal life, in our daily life. And it's also talking about joy and happiness. There's an association with the arts and music here as well. But in the context of being here with these three cards, with being all major arcana and talking about the forces that are playing out in our lives, this would be more along the lines of as we move through this traumatic event, it's setting the stage, or it's laying the foundation, fertilizing the ground, if you will, for the new growth that's coming up. So here we have the dead bodies, which are the things that we're moving past, the changes that we're making, and they're laying on the ground, which means they'll decompose and they'll fertilize the ground so that when the new growth comes, and you see all this new growth down here at the bottom, it'll be bountiful and harvest, and we'll be able to harvest it. So the cards are giving us the advice that we want to have that proper mental focus as we go through the hardships that we're facing throughout the days. And I say days because this card in particular has appeared twice now, 2 consecutive days. But in the last 3 days, it's been nothing but major arcanas coming up for us. So we want to be aware that these changes are happening, that there are forces that are acting in our lives that are going to be affecting us. And how we respond to them is going to determine where we end up in the future situations after this, and how we're able to move forward through this drastic time and changes that are coming about. So that's what the cards have in store for us today. If you like my content, please like my Facebook page and like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can also follow my blog. The links for all my social media, including my webpage, are in the About description on Facebook and in the description below on YouTube. If you'd like to book a reading, my readings start at $5, and you can do so through Facebook. You can contact me through YouTube, through my email at lodgemagician@gmail.com, or you can book a session through Facebook or through my webpage. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.